Hello and welcome to week 2 of the Challenge Gary with the Scotch Kitchen. And you know what, I'm really happy this week at what's come in. First of all, we are going to be working with specially selected pork loin steaks. Beautifully tasting meat, and it cooks really quick. I'm going to show you how quick that is. The other ingredients that I got challenged with was chilies and noodles, and someone is looking for a Thai inspired dish. So I want to show you how easy and how versatile specially selected pork can be. The first thing we need to do is to make the curry paste. And it's a really simple thing to do. It's fundamentally just a case of getting all the ingredients into a food processor. In this case, I've got a little kind of hand liquidizer to make the paste. And when I make this, I always make loads because you can freeze it and then make a Thai green curry at any time. So I'll show you that as well. So the first thing we need in there is some shallots. I'm just going to roughly chop and peel the shallots. So first things first, got some shallots, got some garlic, and the next thing I want to do is add some ginger. And I find the best way to peel ginger is with a spoon. So all I want to do here is just grate. And it's important, I think, to grate ginger because it's quite it's got quite a lot of kind of fibre, a lot of kind of, if it's not grated out, you can be left with it in the food even after it's been through a food processor. Next, I'm going to add the chilies. So it's a challenge ingredient this week. And with the chili, we'll just roughly chop that. The next ingredient is lime. So I'm going to take some of the skin and pop it in. I don't want to go too much of the skin because it can be quite bitter, but you do need a little bit of that bitterness in the curry paste. Next thing I want to do is get the juice. Another little tip, if your limes or your lemons are a little bit hard, I normally just pop them in the microwave for a few seconds. So to that, I'm just going to start mixing it up. So we've got that down, relatively smooth. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to add some coriander, probably about a bunch and a half of coriander, using everything, and some basil, some kaffir lime leaf, and some fish sauce. I don't think there's many Thai dishes that don't have fish sauce. And again, back in with a blender. And honestly, that just smells incredible. You smell that, Lana? And I've made enough here probably for about 3 curries. But if you're buying a bag of chilies, a little bag of ginger, a bag of shallots, a couple of bunches of herbs, for me, I would always just get it all used up. What I want to do with the curry paste is I'm going to take the pork and I'm just going to pop it in a little bag with some of the curry paste. And then I'll pop these in the fridge and we'll get them at the next stage. So the curry paste is made, and it's really up to you now what you can add to it. a green curry. You can get some peppers in it, some cabbage, pak choy. I've got some sprouting broccoli, some snap peas, some French beans, and all I want to do is just really trim the vegetables up into almost kind of bite-sized pieces. And then what we're going to do is what's called blanch and refresh. So the theory behind blanching and refreshing, we're going to put the green veg into boiling water, and we're probably only talking about 60 seconds. And what we're doing there is we're bursting the cells within the veg, which turn them bright green. And what that then does, if we shock them in cold water, they'll stay green throughout the cooking. Also in the water is some salt. It's a nice boiling salted water. We're probably looking at about 60 seconds, and then we want to try and get them as cold as possible after that. And you will see the colour change. And while we're waiting on that, I'll prepare some of our pak choy or bok choy. So it's about 60 seconds. So that's our veg blanched and cooled, so you get really bright green and crunchy veg. And as I say, the theory behind it is once you've blanched and refreshed it, you will retain the colour even when it's getting cooked further. We've got some other veg here that just needed wash, so some bean sprouts and the pak choy. We've got our paste ready to go. So the next thing we want to do is the beginning of the curry. And this is the kind of thing, all of this can be done in advance, and the actual making of the curry itself is literally a couple of minutes. So we're going to take some coconut milk and bring that to the boil. So while we're waiting on the coconut milk heating up, what we're going to do is we're going to tackle our third challenge ingredient, and it was noodles. And what I've chosen is these really fine rice noodles. I've pre-cooked them. They take literally 2 to 3 minutes. Again, get them refreshed in cold water. I think they work really well with the pork and the green Thai curry. So again, keeping them really simple. A little bit of oil, hot pan, and I'm going to pop in some chopped shallots and some chopped red chilies. And again, just want to soften them a little bit. Not looking for colour. So just softening them down, just extracting all that flavour from the chilli, from the shallots. We'll then pop in our noodles. So coconut milk's up to temperature, you can probably see. And to that I'm going to add a little bit of light soy sauce. And just make sure they're all coated in a little bit of soy sauce, the chilli and the shallots. And I reserved a little bit of coriander. So coconut milk's up to temperature. I'm going to add the paste. I'm just going to let that cook out. The next thing we want to do is we're going to cook off the pork. So I've got a nice hot griddle pan. So you want to hear that lovely sizzle. So fundamentally what you're doing now, this is just the exact same as cooking a steak. You don't want to take it too far. You want to get loads of colour, no sugarling, no moving. You want to continually hear that lovely sizzling noise. These loin steaks are actually quite thin, so they will just cook straight out in the pan. There won't be any need to put them in the oven or anything like that. Super quick, super easy, fantastic midweek. So I'm just going to pop our veg in. So the last thing we need in the curry is we're going to add our bean sprouts and our pak choy. That just takes literally a couple of minutes. You're just wilting down the pak choy and we're good to go. So there we have it, Challenge Gary week 2. We had chilies, we had noodles, and we had pork loin steaks. So turned that into some chili coriander noodles, Thai green curry that we marinated the pork loin steak in, which is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get stuck in. And really simple, really straightforward. So if you want to challenge me next week, get onto the Scotch Kitchen Instagram, Facebook and Twitter and get your recommendations in. Let's get me a challenge. See you next week. Bye bye.